Hello, and welcome to the first balanced Dataslate discussion for this channel, this time referencing the first 3rd edition Kill Team Dataslate released on 29 January 2025. In this video, I'm only going to discuss changes to the teams that we've already covered on the channel, since those videos may have updates that are relevant moving forward. Any future guides on the channel will have those updates already considered when they're published. So with that out of the way, my name is Mouse, let's get into the video. At the time of recording, this channel only has 3 guide videos published. So let's look at how the Kommandos, Phobos Strike Team, and the Mandrakes were affected by those changes. I don't want to pass judgment on teams that I haven't created guides for, since I'm not practiced enough with those teams to give you guys an informed opinion. As you guys will see shortly, those changes primarily come from changes to the core rules of the game. Specifically, the rules around charging an operative up onto the Tier 2 vantage point of Vulca's strongholds now prevents teams from camping out up there without being vulnerable to those charges. It's a healthy change for the game, but I'll talk about the impact on each team separately. Okay, the first faction to discuss are the Orc Kommandos. There were no specific changes to this team for this update, but the core rule change related to the Tier 2 vantage of the Vulca stronghold hurts this team's ability to abuse the Grot and the Gather Surveillance tac-op. The strategy of holding off with the Grot until the end of the turn and having them gather surveillance is definitely still viable, but because the Grot is so easily killed, it becomes even more important to do this at the right time in a turning point. A workaround for this is to grappling hook them up to the vantage on turn 1, and then have them gather surveillance early in turning point 2, only to then grapple back to safety instead of sitting up there and being exposed to enemy charges. You can rinse and repeat this interaction for as long as that Tier 2 vantage remains empty, but you only have to worry about this if the Grot is ever in danger of getting killed in melee. It might be easier to just protect him with an entourage of other operatives, but both are valid strategies and depend on the team that's across the table. The second faction is the Phobos Strike Team, who also saw no updates with their team-specific rules. They benefit from the change to the Vulca's Stronghold Vantage because now they can threaten operatives that want to abuse that point. Specifically, you can use Reavers because of their grapnel launchers and good combat. Very few models in the game can handle a Reaver in close combat, and the ones that want to abuse that location usually aren't on that list. The other changes that affects this team is the core change to Counteract, which no longer allows you to counteract and go on guard. This will reduce the amount of zone control that the team can implement on Into the Dark maps, but overall is a healthier change for the game and prevents boring stalemates initiated by elite teams who just get into position first. The final team for us to discuss with this balanced data slate are the Mandrakes. The Mandrakes only saw a minor wording change to their Shadowglyph equipment, which now grants the Super Conceal buff until they activate again, similar to how the 3rd edition changes to smoke grenades were implemented. Which is definitely an upgrade to keeping operatives safe instead of leaving them out in the cold. The change to the Vulca Stronghold Vantage does impact the team, similarly to the Kommandos, but unlike the Commando Grot, all the operatives on this team abusing that position can pretty much hold their own in melee combat. Operatives on the Tier 2 Vantage with a Conceal order still cannot be shot unless the enemy has Seek Light, and there are only a few operatives with less than 10 wounds that can start a fight with a Mandrake in melee. If you keep up the Shadows Bite Fireflight ploy, you'll kill anything that challenges you for that roost, and you won't even have to activate to do it. Okay, it was a quick video this time, but don't worry because I have another guide video coming shortly. Hit that subscribe button and make sure that you don't miss it, and toss us a like if you enjoyed this short overview of how our previous guides have been impacted. Until next time, have fun, and be good if you want to.